I'm like, record, open it. Why didn't you? She said she's going live already. She said she's going live already. She's going live. She wants me to record.
Over here, bringing you this amazing routine. So just take your position and let's begin.
Is your silence?
Is it my
Just put it.
Paz?
Is your silence?
Yes.
They're sure they're all silence.
Good to see you. You look bright today.
Yeah, what's up?
Thanks to Jim.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Where is Sam?
Somewhere is on
Tell him to come and change the white balance of that camera is on flat.
Everybody.
Yes.
How are you guys?
Okay, you guys can use the chair like a small. What else? For your staircase.
Please, it's your phone.
Open.
Silent. It's all phone.
How is it?
It's okay, sir. Who's called? The student has gone off.
This one on silent.
Check your.
This one on silent.
Yep.
Sam, yes, it's back on. Look there, you need a
You they call me?
Sir?
Is it okay?
Samuel, in an office. Oh, man, the name of
I said to you,
oh, the full member. That
Atakano go for 40. You don't have any party.
they're making what? Probably you're doing a pot. Who's doing a pot to treat your way again with them? Now, chat with
Is it
you.
okay? Is it
Get
okay?
back.
It's Christian. I say.
I'm going to. I'm Saturday. Where did you see you?
Everybody.
Wait me that.
Open.
Hold on. Make your adjust.
Oh, she don't do it. No, I just do it. That's okay.
I should start video this today.
My battery is down. I mean, who get iPhone charger?
I guess, but I'm not sure.
Let me charge my.
Yeah? What's happening? They hear me? They come, I want to
But you know we're not celebrating. After this, what I'm doing, like, if you go really want to go to.
I know what's up.
It's hard. It's hard. Especially when you're not consistent. People like
Hold on, they come. Hold on.
How is it now? Huh? Is the frame okay?
Where is the challenge?
Christian.
Yeah.
Hold on, make it as
Should I
well.
start recording
No,
this?
sit down. You won't get there.
The two of them. I don't know how to stop.
Is it too much? Is it too much?
This is how to stop video. No, not that. There's a different way. This one is live.
Am I done all right?
Have you mic time?
You got your.
How is the frame now?
The phone is okay. Could you reduce our head to
Time is 8:53.
Okay. The time is 3 minutes, 30 seconds.
Not my chance with the problem. I don't get
We
it.
get 1 hour 30 to push my own side of here.
I'm not like today.
It
You
was
don't really I'm supposed to go house as well.
Why did they go pick up for it?
Just
After what she made
yeah, they go. And they go. Can go to the work since. So,
no be camera on my phone no.
and it's not to go rest.
Yeah, good now. Lock my phone.
Sammy, you go now.
No.
Now me they talk to you. It's not like when I'm giving a 40%. Okay, don't come. I'm thinking about my life. Like, please. Wait,
Divine. So when are you coming in?
Do your news on the hour.
Okay.
My aim you can participate in
Tomorrow, call starts.
but definitely everything that happens in this.
But look at this segment of this competition at NTV is showing this December. So entries, people have already started submitting their entries. You either write or you take pictures or you make videos. So you're writing. So you can audition under the category of writing. What's the title? Geography.
So your experience growing up, the life you had growing up, memories, nostalgic memories of growing up. You can write it as a letter to your motherland. I'm
Only
telling you,
there's a limit of how many.
yeah, I'm going to find the whole thing. I'm going to send it to you.
There are cash prizes.
Quiz. Mr. C. Your face. Mr. CC.
I'm not sure.
We have now.
Hello.
What time is the next alarm going to be? 12.
We'll be done by then.
10 out of 10 now.
Let us know when you're ready to come up.
Kai ni shukutanda. Kai ni shukutanda. You when you.
Lifestyle.
You still do that thing.
For you.
It's a juice. You still do that thing.
Lifestyle is just
I'll come up.
expensive.
That's it.
Slide. And we can show in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Thank you for staying with us. So welcome back. It is still the AM Weekend Show, and right now we are going to be having our first conversation. I told you we're going to be diving into the world of literature and creativity. We'll be speaking with a writer. You know, sometimes it feels good getting into the thoughts of the writer, but today is really unique because we have just been joined by a phenomenal 18-year-old teenager who happens to be an author. While she's also a student, she's joined us on the show. She's going to be sharing with us a perspective as a writer at 18. Good morning, one more time. I'm talking about the very beautiful faithfulness then now. Good morning again. How are you doing? Thank you. Okay, so where do we begin? Because when I heard about you, how that you're already an author, you published a book, and I just wanted to know what was I doing in my life? They told me I'm 18, but He told me it was 14 years old. And I just sat for a minute to reflect and think about
This
it.
reflection thing I've been doing this week.
Make changes.
At 18, what was I doing? What were you doing?
At 18, I was still trying to get into school to study one particular course in one particular university.
That felt weird.
Like, at 18, I was still struggling with that. But yeah, I mean, it's different people, different people that at 18 you be able to complete it.
Honestly, my perspective being a writer, I already started writing from every stage of my life as early as 7, because my mom still has record of where I write jaga jaga. I don't know if she got it here. So I'm very good at writing, and all thanks to her, because she inspired me. She made sure she got novels for me. So she was actually the one to lead me through that part of loving to write and read as well. Like, it's something I enjoy doing, unlike the conventional students who go to school is stress. Do you understand? So this is my 18th day. I had my first birthday, my birthday at May 25th this year, 18. And I give all the glory to God. I've come so far. Started writing from my university. I was 12 at that time. We had both one in particular, my first word. So it's all about the story of these two beings who have failed a long step in life.
So you were how old? Sorry.
I was 12 when I started, yes, when
you
it
were
was
the
sexual, yes. So I started writing, and then, due to young life, I had to go through series of corrections. So before I got to SS3, I was 16, then it was really for publication and to the help of my publication social work. I got sponsored, and it was sponsored for the designer. So thanks to that. So I'm here again, and haven't gotten my second book as well. Then it asks me the contemporary African story of why is president situation, right? And currently I'm working on my third book, and it's my life experience. Because ever since this book came out, even before it came out, I used to tell my mom that, Mommy, this book will not stay with me. I would go to people's houses and knock on their door for them to get a copy of my book. So immediately it came out, I started marketing it on my own, right? I'll meet people, I'll talk to them, I'll probably like give a little smile, talk to them about my book, and they'll feel so impressed that see a young girl is doing this, so they support me massively. And I've gotten to meet a lot of people, I've gotten to share my experience with a lot of people, and I've gotten to understand people's mindset. Everybody have different perspectives, different mindset.
Yeah.
So by God's grace, this is like my 2.5 years marketing this board, and then that's
Alright, so, okay, it's not published very fast.
Bennett Dark
Okay, Bennett Dark
Yes,
Skin.
man, it's in the publishing house.
Alright, so let's go back to this particular one you published. I actually read part of it, and I saw like an interesting story. And for you to have had that perception of flow, what inspired that story?
Because looking at it now, I feel like I'm so young at that age to actually have such an inspiration. So it all started one morning after having shower. I just sat down and I was reminiscing on the lives of my little youth and teenagers, because I have, thanks to God, I have a good upbringing and leads to a good degree. And I'm able to discern when something is right and when something is wrong, and the consequences as well. Thank God I didn't have all these strict parents who would flog you and manage to be at one place. My family would make me understand the consequence of this action. So I sat down and like of my own life, how I live, and then the lives of conventional teenagers out there, both online and offline, where you see people, they'll probably tell you I have a boyfriend, and they'll be saying all sort of things, and I will have to feel like, what is wrong with me? You get? So I understand better that having a boyfriend and living all sort of life
it's not worth it. So I feel I could put down something that would help with that instead, bring us back to what we are supposed to be. Because anybody being, maybe they'll say you're holy, acting holier than those, that kind of a thing. Alright, so the right thing is being seen as being holy. This is you're a Jew person. So I feel I could put down something to bring us back from our culture and our religion, Christianity. It doesn't support all the waywardness of life. And I do tell people that when we do all these things, when we act the way we act, we are not only doing it for a particular person. Like the consequences will be on you, not on your mother or your father. It's on you. Let's say you got yourself a boyfriend as usual, and then you probably have premarital sex, right? And then what comes next is pregnancy or STI. These are the consequences that would come out. And you can't get any of these if you don't have premarital sex. And the next thing, a baby is up on then the next thing, abortion. You're looking for it. So it just keep on leading to, okay, let's say you have a baby, you have to sit down and take care of the baby, alright? So it has consequences on yourself. So what we say, keep yourself, we're not saying it for anybody, but for your own personal growth. Alright, so it all just keeps going. Yeah.
Okay, now bringing it to perspective, let's bring it back a little bit. Yeah, one would wonder what your story is about. So I just want you to be very brief before I go ahead and ask you some questions. Just a very brief summary of what we heard Blossom start.
Alright, thank you so much. So, that Blossom is the story of two teenagers who have taken the wrong step in life, like I said earlier, who have engaged in the relationship of being, and they got to the marital stage, and the whole thing one problem and another one to and a lot of life and abortion has Nancy, the protagonist. The guy is paternity and they needed like a human blood for their stuff. And then Nancy, naive, without parents, she's the only child of her parents, but then they're kind of the strict authoritarian parents. I'll see your phone out, but they'll not really like water down what the advantage and the they'll just Kelvin had, risen up, he had jumped up and smashed up pregnant and three months. And he was so sorry. So this book looks so calm. Whoa. So yeah, and I know this is a fiction, alright? It's not something that happens real, but worst thing would be happening in our lives too, in society. So yeah,
Wow! Literally you told us already. I can't wait to read already. It has to be.
Thank you, man.
Okay, so the first thing I want to ask is, first off, we're 12 when we go see. What? A lot of thoughts are going through my mind. What was she exposed to at the time? What experiences did you have? But you've clearly mentioned that your own life was slightly different. So it's like you're writing about things that you probably and have seen. Well, now writing such a story as this, I know different writers have different focus, different ways that they write. Some write fiction, some that write. So yours is like what now?
So my week is related currently. So I just literally find myself working on problem solving in society.
Problem solving.
Exactly. So we have this is my first book is on the marital sex and the consequences, abortion and whatnot. Then the second one, really dark skin, persistent racism in the present society of the world. Why do black people still face racism, even in the 2025? Alright. So that is another problem solving. Then the third one is on my true life story. I thought I have marketed for over 2 years, and it's quite touchable to put down something, people or upcoming authors or maybe any other factor of life you find yourself, so you can be able to approach people just as they have succeeded with.
So that's also problem solving.
Exactly.
So now the question is, how exactly how are you able to put these things down without having experience them, without experiencing them? How easy is it for you as a writer to put these thoughts down by just what you see and all of that? Because there are people who believe that you have to experience it to truly understand before you can even see things from the perspective of people you're writing about. So how does it feel writing without experiencing it yourself?
Okay, because the first two books, not were my experience, but of course the third is my experience. So surely I'm writing that one with so the first two books, like I said earlier, I give all thanks to God. And even I'm still at wonder at myself as to sometimes I do have what we call what we call like you don't see yourself having the ability to do it, but if though you've seen the results, but you don't see yourself having the ability to do that. So the first two books, I would say God inspired me to put them down. And of course, you cannot deny that anything that happens in the society would have an impact on you, in one way or the other, maybe your family or even yourself. So as I'm a black person, and it's likely that if the problem is not stopped, it might happen to me or anybody. In fact, anything that happens in the society of Africa, of Nigeria, is something that concerns me so much. It's more like it has happened to me, but maybe not physically, but it has still happened to me. So it's more like I'm writing out of conviction, alright, and more of obligation, just like Dr. Miles Monroe would say. You can write about so many things. You can write about your experience, you can write your obligation, you can write your conviction, you can write your revelation. Alright, so exactly. Yeah.
Alright, I want to understand how was childhood growing up? Because in as much as you said you understand God is trying strong, but I think that it's also something you were exposed to. Maybe through films, did you watch so much movies growing up? Were you the type that read so much like books that were bigger than you? Because I know that there are some persons that just read books that are being recommended from school. They don't read any other thing outside school, right? So what was childhood for you growing up? How exposed were you to even watching other movies? There are families where you're restricted, you don't watch any other movie, you're trying to look cartoon or some educational content, right? So how was your exposure growing up? That's the first question. The second question, when you told your parents about writing books, how did you answer it?
So I'll go with the first part. Childhood, I wasn't exposed. I'm moving like the voice of and I'm moving the double because of really begging for those books. So I and I think that's one thing to yeah,
and not just schoolwork, but any other thing.
yeah, and the school I wasn't the social type. I mean I greet everybody. I laugh at everybody, but you can't really say this is her friend. If you're looking for this person, you should ask this person. I don't have even till today, even till today I'm in university. And I still feel like there is something pulling people away from getting so attached to me. I don't know why. I'm the one pulling away. Okay, yeah, at some point I have to agree. I have to pull away from some certain the same ideology or the same. I don't even like friends. Like everybody in the world or around our vicinity, everybody wants to do the conventional. Why I don't? So I can't even rapport with one.
Just like you're asking me about, how like it was basically the same thing. Did you see other people do certain things, but some reasons you just feel like, this is not.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask that question of how did you now know that this is not the right thing to do? In as much as your parents explained. But for growing up, there's this curiosity of wanting to test things. But I lacked that curiosity. I didn't just want it. It's not like I've known about this thing, so I know where it's ending. I know how it's going. I don't want to be part of it. You understand? So I think that plays a role is still that upbringing. There's an environment you'll be in, certain authorities you'll be under, that you will just know. You will know certain things. People undermine the power of influence. People undermine
environment.
parenting. People undermine environment, society, immediate society. Neighborhood, there's a neighborhood you will be in. Exposure you do not beg for. Exposure you do not ask for. You just be coming to you. You'll be running. It's all over. It's all over the place. No matter how strict your parents are, this is what is happening right after you step your foot out of the door. So it's crazy, but I mean.
Can I equally get out to find the Spirit of God? I think the Spirit of God has a major role to play as well. Because I remember my aunt, my mom's younger sister, she was a virgin at 30. I'm sure she's probably watching this. So she was a virgin at 30. That was when she got married. Like her husband, broke her virginity, and we celebrated and everything. So I lived with her for like 3 years, and she kept on saying that it was the Spirit of God all the time. Because during that time, their mom didn't have the time to probably, they are 10 in number, 10 children. So imagine, and 8 girls. So imagine, having to deal with 8 girls, and so it was the Spirit of God for her. Men were coming, she was a pretty lady, but when it gets to the point where the man will say, okay, I'll have to sleep with you before, maybe in the course of, she wouldn't want to do that. And it's the Spirit of God in her, because she didn't have any particular person. Yes. Okay, the mom would just be like, hey, it's what I'm if you get pregnant, you would go to the person, you will just stay your kids on the
So like the second question I asked, when you thought about writing, started writing, how was it, like when you told your parents about it, what was the whole, how was that whole?
Okay, so I didn't have any, I didn't have to ask for anybody's permission before writing. I was just myself. I was writing, and it was just out of passion. I didn't even know the book would be published. I wasn't even seeing it, but I was just writing out because I love writing. Let me just write something down. I know someday, somehow. But I didn't have any permission, on regards to that. It was during the publication, and I had to tell my mom about it. Okay, I want to publish this book. And she was like, okay, there is no money, how are you going to go about it? And I just relaxed about it. I just went to my English teacher for the usual proofreading, as I've always done since 1963. So when he proofread, then he was like, oh, this is good. And he referred me to the publisher who gets books for the school. That's Mrs. Social, is the founder of State Book Education House. So she, like I said, she took up the sponsor. She was equally impressed and shocked at the same time. So she sponsored the publication herself single-handedly, and to this day I'm grateful for she has.
Big shout out.
Thank you.
I actually read that book for you.
Thank you.
I Felicia always. Yeah, I know how to say that.
Wow. Yes.
So yeah, big shout out Mrs. Felicia for marketing me from the picture. Okay, now let's deviate a little bit. We've been talking about reading culture in Nigeria. I mean, it's been a conversation we've had for ages. Chimamanda Adichie came out last week too. She had something to say, and she was talking about social media and how it is damaging to the brain. She, of course, she's another beautiful. She's another beautiful.
going back to our books and all of that. But if you now, of course, I'd love to hear your perspective as a teenager, so I'd love to know how your mind works. Teenagers' mind work right now. Would you say that the reading culture has died entirely? And also, when you look at the use of phones and reading, you know,
so let's say I pick up, this is my phone, and I want to read. Of course, notifications because I like to read friends who are readers. They will get books like you will buy it. Yeah. There is this feeling when you are reading a book, and you know what? Something about writing, it can never die. It can't. Whether you like it or not, whether we advance from now to the, I don't know, whether we pass this technical world, technology world and advance into a modern, you can't stop writing. This is cool. My English teacher, Sister Enago, he will tell you, stop using the abbreviation of, if maybe you want to write this, write GIS, write it very well. It will affect your normal writing. Let's say you're having a letter writing, it would have, you wouldn't know when you would do that. So writing, and never that you want to understand it, that writing is undermined. So it's kind of an act that supersedes, humanity, yet of the mind.
okay, let me, sorry to cut you right off. You just said a very, very authoritative statement in asking, writing can never die. And then you also highlighted the use of phones, and even while we use our phones, we still get to text and all of that. But now, if we still look at it, first of all, we've gone from this to this, from this to this, which you said is a problem.
Exactly.
Okay, you're here to share with us why it's a problem. Now, we started using just this, but somehow, we still find writing here. Okay? And technology is still advancing.
Exactly.
So while we had text, we were managing text. I remember when I was younger, I was using my button phone. I text. I don't think anybody texts more than me. And I don't text till now because I also did a course of literature, so I enjoy writing too. So I love text. But right now, with advancement of technology, there's such a thing called voice to voice. And apart from the whole technology obsession thing, there's also the fact that there's no time anymore. We just was in such a fast-paced world, very fast-paced. So most of the time you send me a message, I just come here. There's AI there. You want to ask AI a question, you use this a feature for you to use your voice and ask. So if we're saying that, I don't doubt you if you say writing is already dying. You are the professional here. But I'd like to know, why do you think it will not die? See that, because you raise a strong point, which is the fact that despite our gadgets, we still have. But that also can be contradictory. It can also fight you because while there is that, we are still seeing new features coming up. Do you understand? So what assurance do we have that from now to the next 10 years, 15 years, it will still be I just need to hear your strong points.
Okay, so I just want to say that writing is a beautiful thing. For me, on a personal note, on a personal note, writing is life. Writing is communication. You can construct and destroy with writing. It is one way of communicating, and you wouldn't get any disturbance or criticism at the moment you're writing. It's just serene. But maybe you're online and then you're talking about something, someone might say something and contradict you both immediately. Or you can start your point and finish your whole point with writing. Alright? So there is no contradiction to that at that moment. So you can construct the pen and tell people it is
write that. So you can use it to now draw. So whatever you want to put out there, people. Now let's talk about the part of the world. There are still people who don't fancy. There will still be people, of course, for the next 10 years who don't fancy the television and the noises. Let's say the introvert, like most writers, they will still want to go through the conventional book. And
So knowing that the problem we have at this particular time, especially people younger than you, because everybody has every child has basically watching one thing or the other. So do you have any plans for ensuring that there be your own way to guide?
yeah, I love Nigeria. I love Africa. They don't joke with school. They don't joke with their education. Even when the child will be like, go to school. And you know why they are saying no to school? They have this, in fact, which is true, that school will make you learn. And you know from the fact that, okay, after school, that's this. So from young age, most secondary school I know, I've not seen any school, maybe outside the country, but here in Nigeria, I haven't come across any primary or secondary school that allows you your tablet. So even if you have one, it has to be at home. So if we can maximize that opportunity, that school, the secondary school and the primary school, these are our future leaders. They'll still come out and face the university. So it's going to be a catch them young stuff. It's an opportune as well at the right time. I would go to schools, secondary schools, which I've been doing before myself. Yeah. So it's one way to inspire the youths because they are the future youths. Yeah.
What are faithfulness? I mean, it's just a lot to unpack. There's a whole lot to unpack, unfortunately. We have very limited time.
Sure.
But then I still want us to talk about who would you say inspires you? Who do you look up to? Who inspires you? Who are the people that have come love this passion of yours? Because while we are talking about technology and we're looking at its advantages of it, something we cannot deny is that it has come to stay. You know, so a lot of people are looking for more modern ways, more acceptable ways to put their works out there. So do you have such plans at any point of getting into the media, either with the making or whatever?
Yeah, sure. If I have the opportunity, it's a white environment. You get to create the impact that you need to. So people will know what you're moving at. So there are a lot of things to come with. So you know, in writing, you can do an you can imagine, you can even imagine a flying person, which would not be possible in the conventional world. So in writing, you
can bring in so much more emotion than you can in movie.
Yeah, that's what I
film.
always
So
ask, because people have this argument that you know, better from a book.
From a book,
She will
all
go like
that
it's going
culture.
to spoil her imagination that she does not want to see. Because it is as much as it makes sense in this book.
I think part of the reason is that when you length of time, so
There's a lot of
when you
contact.
read the book,
Yeah.
you know, a book can take you like 3 days, but you can't resist the experience.
and then, yeah.
That's why reading is solid though.
So it's solid to a large extent, and you know, with reading you have you have the space to imagine.
That's
Your
why I
imagination,
brought the flying
your-
humans.
your-
Anything can happen.
You're just when you're watching the movie.
And I say, if I say I'm a nurse and I don't want to write, if we didn't have writers, there wouldn't be books for us to read. In every field, you have to you have to be able to write. Communicate to upcoming ones in the same field. You're an engineer, you're a doctor, you're a lawyer, you're a banker, you've got your experience to share. I have a banker writer, he wrote about the experience of the bank and the sector and everything. So it's one whole inspiration to hear what you have to impact in the world. So don't die with it. Thank you.
I
Thank you.
When I was young, I think I'll go back to that.
Thank you. Please do.
My
Please do.
experience.
Please do. Please
Experience.
do. Give us.
But alright, at least I'll start with my life experience first.
Thank you.
I've seen a lot in this life.
Ah.
I'll turn them down.
Well, I must say that I'm inspired.
Thank you.
I'm inspired, and I also think that exercising your 18, you don't look or sound 18 to me.
That's why I keep them. So you don't break when you're 12, you can't age. Age is just a number. Age should not be a reason. It should not limit you to wonderful things you can do. So go to the world and explore.
It's really beautiful.
Thank you.
And how bold you are, how
Thank you.
confident you are.
Thank you.
It's delightful. It's a pleasure.
Thank you, ma'am.
Pleasure to have
Thank you.
And we look forward to really, really big things.
Thank
I look forward to hearing your name in no long time. Where we talk about your mentor, Amanda. I look forward to hearing your name being mentioned when we talk about the top writers in Nigeria. And I hope that you uphold your values. I realize that sometimes we don't, I'm not saying this because of you, but we don't necessarily have to be the most correct. We just have to have our strong convictions. Go ahead and push it hard and long enough. Every other person would have to.
They have to take risk.
Exactly. So I think that you're such a bright student, and I wish you all the very best. All right, that was Faithfulness Nena Okoro, a student and the youngest writer I have met this year. And I mean, we just shared experiences, talked about how she started her journey, and it's been such a delightful and inspiring one. In case you missed it, you can go back to YouTube and watch this very, very interesting segment. Up next, it's another conversation we do not want to miss. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back.
Yo.
Please give me my phone. Let me call this.
Yeah.